Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Izzati binti Saleh, and today I'm going to present about the instrument of foreign policy. The instrument in foreign policy may be seen as the device through the national power to accomplish the intention and the objective of the foreign policy. This instrument will help the foreign policy to accomplish their interest or objective. So this is the follows of the instrument in the foreign policies. The first instrument is diplomacy. So why the diplomacy is an important instrument in the foreign policy? It is because the diplomats, ambassador, and minister, they represent our country's point of view to the entire world and achieve foreign policy goals through the bilateral negotiation. Diplomacy also narrows the understanding, disagreement with other countries. This has helped us to deal the treaties and pact with other countries. It is important in reaching deals, treaties and pact with other countries. It's a function both war and peace. The second instrument in foreign policy is publicity and propaganda. This can be used consistently to fight and break down undesirable attitude and opinion while creating ideal attitude and opinions. Propaganda, as used by the Hitler and later continued by the superpower during the Cold War, may be used to systematic falsify true proposition and position and create to the suitable one. Pakistan's systematic and relentless propaganda has distorted by the India factually strong case on Kashmir, to the point on that some people around the world may wonder what, after all, and the facts of the case are. Publicity through radio, television, newspaper, magazine, and other literature are often used as a tool of foreign policy. Thus, a nation uses diplomacy, advertising, and propaganda to improve its public relation, remove undesirable and discreditable factors such as humiliation, confusion, mistrust, and so on between itself and other nations, and project favorable and suitable pictures to other nations. This often contributes to a country's strength and reputation. The third instrument in foreign policy is balance of power. This approach is used to prevent power imbalance and to improve the status of specific nation. For example, Britain used the idea of power in European power politics for a long time to preserve the status quo and prevent any single power from being too strong. Next, the fourth instrument in foreign policy is collective security. The principle of collective security is adopted to secure collective defense as threateningly posed or actually mobiles against the powerful nations. Balance of power and collective security are beneficial as instruments for smaller nations with a limited capacity to defend themselves. And now, let's move to the international law and organization, which is the fifth instrument in foreign policy. These are also used by nations wherever possible to further their foreign policy goals. During the post-war era, Britain and France used the League of Nations to retain a favorable status quo. We now can see that many third world countries are using the United Nations Forum to achieve some of their basic foreign policy objectives, such as anti-racism and disarmament. Now, the last instrument in foreign policy is economic and non-political method, which is various nations often use various economic tools to achieve their foreign policy goals while harming the interests of their adversaries. Economic organizations such as EEC, ECM, Comecon, and MII are created for this purpose. Economic approaches are already thoroughly explored in the previous chapter on national interests. Religious, cultural, and ethnic are often used by nations to achieve foreign policy goals, such as Islam has been practiced around the world by the Muslim countries. That's all from me.